Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, welcome back to another stream, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, if you are enjoying the content, enjoying the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Show some love and also hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because you will be notified, of course. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Good morning. Hope you're doing good, bro. William, as always, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yes, we'll take a look at NZD/USD. Retest 200 EMA. Okay, we'll take a look for you. Okay, 0.61. What's up, Market Lines? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yeah, 100% more. It's the consistency which is normally the key to most people's problems. Consistency, because again, we're not necessarily solving. We're not rocket science here. We're not solving any crazy problems, but it's the consistency and the persistence of understanding the strategy you're using and understanding it very, very well. And the answer to that is normally consistency and staying disciplined within that approach, because it's so easy just to hop onto another strategy, which of course is what a lot of people do in the beginning, which is expected. But once you learn that lesson, the sooner the better. But in terms of NZD/USD, let me touch on the DXY firstly. In terms of the dollar, I'm still looking at some downside longer term. And what I mean by that is a pullback is expected, but I'm expecting follow through to the downside. So that's the move I'm interested on the dollar and the move I'm looking to trade this week. The areas where we could see a pullback happen towards it is these two levels here. Lovely support there once. Second, another test of that same level as well. You could see price potentially pull back to that area, retest it, and continue. Again, it doesn't have to be on the dot, but that's kind of what I'm looking at for the dollar. And then continuations lower, possibly back to support down here around the 104,500 mark. 104,300, 104,400, somewhere around there. But that is the plan I have for the DXY. That's the plan for the dollar. So I'm looking for some short-term dollar strength for some longer-term dollar weakness. So going into NZD/USD, kind of looking at something similar, possibly a retest of this area here and potentially some upside. What is this? 0.61087, possibly some buys from there. Again, I'm not really over the moon with the price action with NZD/USD. I think Euro USD looks a lot cleaner. Aussie dollar looks a lot cleaner as well. If USD CAD has a big breakout, that one looks a lot cleaner as well, but that one hasn't had the breakout yet. So I'd much rather trade those pairs I just mentioned than NZD/USD. But of course, it's another dollar pair. It's going to make another similar move as with the others as well. But if I was looking to trade NZD/USD, this would be my approach. We have a lovely level of resistance a couple times, 1, 2. This could act as support and see some upside. You mentioned the 200 EMA. So let me get that up and running. There we go. Let me actually change the color so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, yellow. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there is some nice confidence there with the 200 EMA. We are running through that kind of area. It has been nice support previously, resistance. So you would hopefully see at the support again coming to a nice area of confluence. We've got resistance turn support in that area there too, and it's a pretty nice impulse correction. So that does look like a nice area to me for NZD/USD. That does look like a nice area. In terms of the price action, I'm not the biggest fan of it, just because I think there are better pairs elsewhere. But it does fit the mold here, and that would be a nice place for a long. I also like how we're moving as well on the hourly chart. It's really, really corrective, which tells me that this is most likely a pullback, and price is going to find its feet at some point and push higher. and I'll expect it to be at least back to the high there. So I like how price is moving in this bearish leg. It's quite corrective, which typically normally means a move higher is coming. It's just about timing it right. But yeah, I think you said 0.61, I believe. Yeah, 0.61 is just underneath here. So yeah, I would keep an eye on that area in general, because I think if we extend this across, it's acting support there as well. So generally, this area here, NZD has shown a lot of respect to it. So it's an area of support and resistance which the market is very interested at. And of course, with that 200 confidence as well, it's always a nice added bonus too. So yeah, keep an eye on that area. I'm looking for something similar on Aussie dollar, and I think you are too. Aussie dollar, still a bigger pullback needed for me first. I'm looking for price to at least come back into the high here. So I do need a bit more downside, and maybe the 200 come and meet it as well. That will of course be nice, but I'm not too sure. It looks a bit far away. But yeah, I'm looking for something similar on Aussie dollar, and also this area here too. That looks like a nice area for me to buy from. But yeah, I much rather trade Aussie dollar. What's up, Manny? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Oh, that sounds soothing more. Reading a book with a morning coffee, I like that. Not really a big coffee guy, but swap that coffee for a tea. I'll back that. All right, no problem. Have a good one. Ben, what is up? Welcome to the rotten this week. Yeah, yeah. Summer typically is a drier period in the market. Okay, same bias as Aussie. That's where you're going with NZD. Fair enough. Yeah, of course. Also, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, very similar markets, so they're going to do pretty much the same move. Of course, sometimes the strength of Aussie and New Zealand dollar will differ, sometimes quite a lot, but in terms of the correlation, it's almost like 100%, like 90% consistent. So if you're buying one, you're kind of buying the other as well. But I just prefer the price action for Aussie dollar a lot more than the USD, so I'll just put all my effort in this one. And it looks like we are going to see a pullback, to be honest, because price is really struggling at the high here. Let's make sure we can see that. Fantastic. We are struggling quite a lot at the high there. We've been quite corrective on this move after this big impulse there from last week. So it looks to me that price is running a bit of juice, and I would expect it naturally to pull back on itself, find some feet, and hopefully we can get some longs later on. So I like what I'm seeing with Aussie dollar. Price action is looking really good. I like the breakout on the daily chart as well. It's not the biggest breakout in the world, but it's definitely sufficient for me to be interested in it. And it looks like price is slowly picking up some momentum, and hopefully be trading back at these highs pretty soon. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing with Aussie dollar. Euro USD looks okay as well. I think Aussie dollar is probably my favorite. But Euro USD's gone from a big consolidation over here, broken out from some higher highs and higher lows. This one again looks like it's topping out, struggling at the highs there. A lot of congestion. Looks like price is likely going to retrace. Hopefully find a higher low somewhere. Maybe the retest of that high. I think that would be a nice place for a long to try and catch the next higher low. Because again, for the DXY, I'm looking at the inverse of that. A pull back to the upside and a push down. So for me, everything's kind of coming into sync in terms of the dollar pairs at least. Looking for some short-term strength, for some longer-term weakness. Everything's kind of making sense. Silver and gold were a little bit interesting yesterday. Big move to the downside for both of them. It's been a little bit awkward because I'm still looking for buys for both of them as well. They're kind of both trading firmly inside that consolidation. But it's a bit awkward for me to find an entry because I want to be trying catching the lows of this move here. I don't want to be trying entering when price has already seen some upsides. So I'm kind of hoping we have another sell-off at least back to the low there. Then I can see what we do in terms of entry signals, in terms of rejection. Now I'll be looking for longs to take this one higher on the hourly chart. And again, targets back at that swing high. Silver likewise as well, but silver's already had a pretty big move higher overnight during the Asian session. We had a big rejection here, which occurred at 9 a.m. when that candle closed. Again, I'm not looking at the charts at 9 a.m. What's up, Bar? Welcome to the stream. I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well too. But yeah, silver had a bit of reaction late Monday. I don't look at the charts past 5 p.m. UK time. So anything here is not what I'm looking to trade. So I'm kind of hoping we have one more sell-off to at least come back and test support. Of course, we don't necessarily have to. We could just keep flying. It could just be one of those opportunities which occur outside of my trading hours, which might be the case. But yeah, I'm going to wait and see. Gold's not too far away. I can definitely see another move to the downside for gold. Of course, I can see that happen too, but I can see gold having another sell-off, maybe come New York. So I still got a bit of hope there. Silver's kind of a long way away. It's going to be a bit of a pullback on that one, but it still could happen as well. But I'll be watching both of them. The plan for both of them is still very much the same thing. Looking to take them back to their daily, weekly swing highs, which is for gold anyway, back at 24.30, around there. And that's the direction I'm looking to trade in. Pretty big down move, as we can see, pretty aggressive down move. So there has been quite a bit of bearish momentum yesterday. So I do think we can see a bit more of that kind of spill over a little bit today. Maybe even wick through the lows there, give me a nice rejection. That'll be very, very nice indeed. I'm looking to take the buys there. And then, yeah, I'll be looking to take it back all the way up to the high over here. 23.92. So I'm excited about gold because I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Thank you, LX Hub, for subscribing. There's a lot of opportunity there, a lot of upside, a lot of room to the upside. Just need to find a good entry. Got to stay patient with that and not try and force it as well, because there is definitely a world where gold could just shoot to the moon from here. And you can kind of get that feeling of you're missing out on something, and you've been watching the trade for a while and you don't find an opportunity to enter, so you just want to place a trade. But from my experience, that's not a great way to be in, even emotionally, because you're always on the edge a little bit. You feel like, oh, will I miss the trade? Will I miss the trade? It's not really a good place to be in whilst you're trading, because you're not really going with the flow, you're not thinking cleanly, not thinking well. And it just keeps you on the edge all the time because you're always worried if you're going to miss a trade. You're going to miss trades, 100%. If you're a discretionary trader, you will miss trades. It will happen. Of course, you want to keep it to a bare minimum, but it's going to happen. And the sooner you accept it, the better. And of course, you can do your best to try and keep it to a minimum, be in the charts when you're supposed to be in the charts. Make sure you're not hesitant and take trades when they come to you, but at the end of the day, the market's not perfect, or maybe the market is perfect, but we're not perfect. Our strategy, not necessarily perfect either. We'll have losing trades, we'll miss trades. We just have to accept it and look to tweak it and improve, of course. But so there's always so much tweaking and refining you can do. Weather's also rotten as well. Yeah, that's so true. You can tell it's summer from the markets, but not from the weather. Yeah, that's horrendous stuff. It should be, it should be the other way around. Well, it would be nice if it was the other way around. Markets moving and it was still sunny outside. That'd be beautiful. Hey, what is up, Sculpey? Hope you're doing good. Good. Yeah, I'm doing good, Ben. I'm doing good, my man. With Thunder Pips, I went to Match Trader. Marcus. LX Hub, pound yen. Okay, we'll take a look as well. No problem. If anyone wants me to take a look at pairs, let me know in the chat. Yeah, that was a while ago, but Match Trader. So yeah, with pound yen, or generally speaking on the yen pairs, they are still looking pretty bullish. We had a bit of retracement, kind of end of yesterday towards the 18 session. I would still be looking at buys for this one intraday. Again, if I go to the daily chart, we're still seeing momentum to the upside. I know we're kind of throwing wicks a little bit, so maybe we are starting to run out a bit of steam. Maybe you are going to see retracement. I mean, we definitely are going to see retracement at some point, because look how bullish this is. How many consecutive bullish candles there? there are there on the daily chart. You don't normally see this price action in Forex, like at all. So the fact that we've got so many consecutive bullish candles screams retracement. I mean, I'm looking back through the market trying to see, even here we didn't see so many consecutive bullish candles. There were some bearish candles in there, and eventually we had a pretty big retracement. Okay, maybe over here we had something, but then look what followed afterwards. A really big move back down again. There as well, big move back down. Okay, this was a pretty big move there, probably bigger than the one we just had. But you can see it's rare, and normally when it does happen, we do get big retracements after, because that's what FX does. We move in one direction for a little bit, then we snap back. Sure, it probably will just be a pullback, but we will snap back eventually. So if you're looking for buys on pound yen, that still will be the way I look to trade in, but it's definitely intraday, and you kind of just trade in the moment back to maybe the swing high, and then you're looking to partial out or trail a stop loss or something, because now you're in territory where price might want to go against you. But yeah, in terms of the hourly chart, I like this low here. If we can come back and test it, maybe even wick through that, that would be excellent. Something like this, another push into that area, I think that would be a solid buy, because we're still seeing really nice impulse to the upside. Nice momentum over here, nice momentum over there, nice momentum over there. Still making confident higher highs. We are starting to become a little bit corrective though, so of course that's another sign that, okay, we're running out of momentum a little bit. But generally speaking, if we can get another push back down, back into this low, you get a nice place for a stop loss as well. And then yeah, Rishabal looks pretty good, back to the high around 206.668. Something like that would make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, afterwards, I'm not too sure, because pound yen's in territory where we haven't been for a long time, and I do think a big move to the downside is going to happen for it, but I'm not going to try and predict that, because I have no idea when it will happen. It could be this week, it could be 3 months from now. But I do expect to see a big retracement at some point, because that is some really big move there on the daily chart. We might kind of keep pushing high for a little bit, maybe another big move, and then something like that. It's kind of what I'm forecasting. But yeah, for now, intraday buys look good. I'll keep an eye on 205.796 and the push back to the high. Good to hear, Scalpy. Good to hear, my man. Live from Kenya, wicked. Hope everything is well with you. But yeah, that's pretty much the story I have for the yen pairs in general. Some are looking a little bit more bullish than others, like pound yen, for example. CHF JPY is still slowly clawing its way to the upside, but pretty much moving in this ascending format here. Again, as long as we stay in that, the market's still pushing up, chances are we're going to see another move back to the high. Chances are we're going to come right back down again as well. Again, CHF JPY, let's not forget, is at all-time highs as well. We have not been here before. Yeah, this is the, if I go to the yearly chart, 12-month chart, you know, this is price action all the way back to 1972. So we haven't been here before, at least from what I can see in terms of the data. So this is very overstretched, overextended, and we're going to see a bigger pullback at some point. But again, we're not here to forecast and predict things. What the market is doing right now is still very bullish. So if you're definitely intraday, I'll still be looking to take those buys until proven otherwise, really. Until we see signs that, okay, the market is reversing or retracing. Yes, we'll take a look at the DAX, no problemo. William, oil buys, okay. 80.5, I think that's the level I was mentioning yesterday. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. The DAX, I haven't actually looked at the DAX since last week. I have no idea what's cooking over there. Okay, so yeah, last week I said if we can get a strong break of this area, which we end up doing, this would be a nice area for a retest and some buys. which is kind of what price is doing right now. Although, yeah, it's looking okay. I mean, I would like that to be a little bit bigger and have closed above the high there. But it's looking okay because for the DAX, I'm still really bullish on this one. I'm still really bullish on the DAX. I think from a daily perspective, it looks like the market's most likely going to get back to the swing high here. 18,927. This is where I'm expecting price to come back into the swing high. So that's the direction I want to be trading in. So yeah, I'm looking at this as a nice breakout, retest, and possibly a higher low. I like the wick there in the 4 hour as well. My only query about this one is that it just hasn't retraced that much for my liking. Because this has been a pretty big bullish move. Let me get the Fibonacci out, see how much we've retraced. Okay, it's bigger than I thought. It's not quite the 50, which would be nice, but it has had some decent retracement to it. But yeah, essentially I would be looking at breaking retest of this area. Breaking retest of this area, it might come a little bit deeper into here, but what I am looking at for the DAX is an impulse, a correction of that impulse, and a continuation higher. So generally speaking, buys around 18,400, 18,350 is what I'll be looking at, and yeah, anticipating price back to the high here at least, and then maybe if we're lucky back to the swing high at that 18,927 area. But yeah, buys around here look good to me. I mean, even that could be a nice entry signal for stop loss underneath that low. But yeah, generally speaking on the indices, I'm pretty bullish still. US indices look bullish. Let me see how the UK 100 is looking. Okay, this one hasn't really got going yet, but to me this looks like just a big retracement. Market's really corrective, so I do expect us to find feet somewhere and continue higher. There is a big level back here which you could come back and retest first, and that's still a possibility, but the bigger move for me is most likely to the upside. So yeah, DAX looking for buys. Hey, what's up, More? Welcome back. I'll take a look at oil next. Nairobi, Kenya, well reserved. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of people from Kenya that visit the streams. I think Kenya or South Africa, I'll probably say the two most popular countries from Africa that visit the channel. What's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Join the egg party. I can't watch a stream on my channel without having some eggs. Russ, dollar yen to break high with so much support. Yes, I agree. We'll touch on dollar yen in a moment. Casperio, welcome. Hope you are well. Euro USDG, we'll touch on that as well. Martin, what is up? Pound CHF, we'll touch on that as well. Let me just go through oil first. So, yeah, oil, we're looking at some downside for this one yesterday. I said buys look good, or not necessarily buys, but I did say a move back to this area is where I do expect price to get to. Whether we react there and see some nice buys, I'll wait and see. But we've had a really big move to the upside for oil, breaking structure here. This was our last swing high, which gave us this swing low. Price completely just broke through that like it was nothing there. So I do think now that we broke structure, we were touching upon this yesterday, after we broke through some structure there, this is kind of the signal for me that says, okay, maybe we're going to start doing that bigger retracement now. And this is like the first big area where I expect price to come into, maybe find some support and maybe be on its way. So yeah, buys around 80.50 to me make a lot of sense. We're not too far away from that area, so probably get there sometime this week. And we'll see what type of price action we get there. Do we throw some wicks, see some rejection like we did previously? It could end up being a really nice buy, and maybe even a swing low for a price to come all the way back to the swing high as well. That is definitely a possibility. But yeah, I think oil buys around 80.50 look good. So solid level resistance. Hopefully now we'll be acting as support. And yeah, if we see some sufficient price action there, I think that's a nice place for a buy. Didn't really see the retest I was after yesterday. I said if price is going to break through this, looking for some downside. I mean, we had a kind of a quick retest there, but I want to see a bigger pullback there for a sell, and then maybe some buys later on. But yeah, 80.50 is where I do expect us to come in towards, so we'll see what we can do at that level. In terms of dollar yen, so dollar yen poised to go higher, strong support, I would agree. We were seeing evidence of that yesterday. A lot of wicks here, as we can see, solid close there yesterday as well. So it's definitely looking like dollar yen is finding support in this area, and this could just be the next higher low in this bullish sequence. And if that is the case, we've got a good chance of dollar yen pushing back to the high here at 161.869. So what I'm looking at really for dollar yen is more upside. On my weekly analysis, I was talking about a retest of this area here because it was a nice brief area of consolidation, big break to the upside, a lot of momentum. We could come back and retest this area for more upside. However, it doesn't look like we're quite going to see that move because it looks like price is bottoming out around here. So I did say yesterday, if we can start breaking some structure and start putting in some higher lows, there could be some nice buys, and it looks like we're kind of seeing that happen now. So if we can show some more evidence, a retest there could be a nice buy, maybe the 30 or 15 minute, maybe even lower. And yeah, looking to ride that back to the high, because for me, it looks like there's a very high chance we're going to get back to the high now. So yeah, I would be looking at something like this on 30 or 15 minute for the entry. But what I am seeing is higher lows coming back into play. Structure looks like it's starting to break. I would wait for a bit more upside first before looking for entries. But something like that is what I'd be after. And yeah, looking to take it back to the high. Yeah, JPY pairs some JPY pairs a little bit sideways, and I mean, like Euro yen's at the high kind of sideways, Aussie yen at the high kind of sideways, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we're going to see another big move and market's looking like this. So yeah, we're still seeing a lot of bullish momentum for the yen pairs in general. Let me have a quick look at the Japanese index. Have we taken up the high yet? Yes, we have. Look at that, really big move to the upside. So now in slightly more dangerous territory for the Japanese index, because now that we have taken out the swing high above 41,143, now we're kind of in an area where it could be time for the market to eventually see that bigger retracement. If I zoom out, you can see the daily chart has been flying really, really well. But when we do take out these major highs, the market sooner or later will go through a type of correction. Of course, this one, it took a while to happen, but eventually did happen. The thing is, we're at all-time highs, so I have no idea where it would happen from. I mean, keep an eye on the psychological levels, but there's no like level I'll be looking at to the left and referencing. So now that we have taken out the high, we could still see a lot more upsides, but eventually we're probably going to go through another bigger retracement like we did over here. So yeah, I would keep an eye on that for the yen pairs, but at the moment everything is still looking very, very bullish, and I'll be expecting more of the same until proven otherwise, really. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. We'll go through Euro USD and Pound USD. Go through a couple dollar pairs, Pound CHF as well. What's up, Godfrey? Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good morning. Sogo, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. up to the same old tricks yesterday. Yes, I fully agree with that on Sculpey. We'll touch on gold in a minute, but gold is still a pair that which I'm really looking to trade. I really like the price action from last week, so I'm just looking for an area, an opportunity to buy it. But yeah, really strong move to the downside yesterday, so I can tell that was very, very fun for people trading it. I'm still looking to find my entry this week, so I'll break that down in a moment. But yeah, it was up to no good yesterday. So yeah, with Euro USD and Pound USD, I'm looking at more upside for both of them. Pound USD, I'll get into that in a moment. But in terms of Euro, I do like pullbacks around 1.07761. I feel like if we can get there, I'll be interested in some buys, because at that point we've got retest of structure. There's a good chance on the higher lower form, and we'll continue higher. I'm looking for an identical move on the DXY, of course, in the opposite direction. So I'm liking this possibility here for Euro, and maybe prices putting another higher low and maybe wants to come back to the high again. Price action for Euro USD is not really straightforward on the daily chart. There's no kind of overall trend at play really. It's kind of just sideways. There's a small kind of bearish channel here, but the grand scheme of things, price is quite sideways. So in terms of my high time frame bias, it's definitely very much up in the air. Same with the DXY as well. But on the low time frames, 4 hour, I like this kind of intra-week opportunity of another higher low, and even another push back to the high looks really good to me. Something like this back to the high, I feel like that's a really nice opportunity. Maybe we can go high as well. I'll be trading a stop loss to find out. But yeah, I do want to see more retracement, because there's a lot of congestion up here. We had a big gap to the downside this week. Price pushed back up to resistance, struggling a little bit. Of course, we may see a rally from here, but I'm not really interested in taking buys there. I do want to see if we can come a little bit lower first. Just like I want to see if the DXY can come a little bit higher, retest some structure up here around 105, 400, and possibly from there we can then continue on that bearish journey. So that's kind of what I'm after from the DXY. Pound USD is just at a really solid level of resistance right now, so I'm not really looking to buy that one at all. As we can see here, strong rejection 1, 2 there, a bit of a fake out, but generally rejecting that area. 3 there as well, and now potentially 4, a bit of a wick there to the upside on Monday as well. So we're not at an area where you want to be buying. If anything, this is a place where you want to be selling. If we break through, that changes everything, because then of course will come support, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for price to break through that, if it will break through that. But at the moment, this is a solid place of resistance, and we could see price take a bit of a hit here, maybe back to some areas across here, maybe back to some areas down here as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Pound USD takes a bit of a dive to go and test one of those levels before maybe seeing some upside again. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Pound, but I don't really want to trade it because I'm buying back into resistance, a big level above us, not really something that I want to be trading. Whereas Euro USD doesn't really have a big level which we're trading into right now anyway. Next kind of big area I would say will kind of be up over here. We've got resistance there. So that's kind of the next big area of resistance, which I'd rather trade in towards because we haven't got there yet. Whilst Pound USD is actually rejecting that level at the moment. So yeah, Pound USD, I'm waiting for price to break out and then look for pullbacks afterwards. It becomes a lot simpler, a lot cleaner. And then I'll be looking to see if Pound can get all the way back to the high there at 1.314. So that's my longer term bias I have for Pound. At the moment, as we approach resistance, I do think we can see a bit of a breather to one of these two areas. Euro, something similar, but then I'm looking to take price higher. So that's my kind of outlook with Euro USD and Pound USD as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at Pound CHF next. We'll go through gold and silver as well. Blessing, we'll take a look at Pound NZD and Euro NZD too. More JPY 67% rise before anything happens. Could definitely see that as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 6 to 7% is a lot, is a pretty big move for them. But yeah, under current conditions, I wouldn't put that past them. Okay, so with pound CHF, this one's looking attractive for a sell. Again, we're speaking quite a lot on this one yesterday. We're still trading in a big level resistance on the daily chart. As we can see here, lovely resistance there. Nice move to the downside. Bit of a fake out both ways, so price wasn't really respecting it much there. But now, again, we're throwing wicks back into that same area. Still struggling to break through. So for me, this is naturally a nice place for a sell. Now, again, I'm not expecting pound CHF to completely melt to the downside and see some new lows. I think we're more likely going to see a bit of a pullback for price to go higher. So what I would be looking at is a move possibly back to this area here, where we had a bit of a doji down the daily chart. If I go to the 4 hour, see it in a bit more detail. Bit of resistance there before we had a pretty big break higher. Possibly you could see price take a bit of a breather into that area before trading higher. So I think that is a really nice trade back to the low, and then we see what happens next. And that could be a nice target, or at least a place to secure some partials. In terms of entries, this is a nice area for entries. I'm looking at the hourly chart. It's kind of is a little bit sideways, but what I would say though is if we have some nice spikes higher, that could then entice us for some nice sells, stop loss above the high, and then yeah, you can be looking at, you know, a shorter term move back to the low here, the lower end of the range, so down at these areas here. And this could be your first target to bank some partials, trade a stop loss or whatever. And then if we do end up breaking through that, whoop-de-doo, we've got, you know, a really nice range to trade there as well. But in terms of a nice entry, right at the high there where all these wicks are building up, this is definitely a nice place for that. This is where all the wicks and the daily are spiking into. So if you can get an entry here in the lower time frames with a stop loss above the high, you're really maximizing that risk reward with a fairly tight stop loss, but in a smart place for it as well. And then if things play out, you know, you can expect to move back down to the lower end of this range, which the price is stuck in for a little bit. We've been up and down in this area, so expecting another move back to the low end of that range. And if we break out, you can leave some positions to run maybe to that next area, which we just mentioned. So yeah, pound CHF still looks like a nice sell to me. Still a nice area. As long as we keep obeying this level of resistance, I would say this is a really nice place for a sell. If we break through, we'll reanalyze it and go from there and go again. But for now, 1.151 looks good. And yeah, looking for a push into 1.13 for pound CHF. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. We will take a look at gold and silver next. Casperio GJ, good level for buys, pushed up today, looking for buys on a higher low. Okay, I'll mention that one as well. Then we'll go through pound NZD, Euro NZD as well. Every time it goes up 20-25%, Japan gets it down 11-13%. Yeah. I mean, of course, that has just been the pattern of the yen pairs for the past, 2 years now? See some healthy corrections, higher lows form, push back up again. What's up, Sammy? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yes, we'll take a look at pound CAD and USD CAD as well. Let me just go through silver, gold, and pound yen. So, yeah, as I said with gold, I'm looking for buying opportunities with this one. It was a little bit awkward because we had a bit of a sell-off to the downside. In the grand scheme of things, it's not much. You know, it's just literally this bearish candle here. Of course, on the lower time frames, it's a pretty big move, but on the 4 hour, doesn't mean much. What I'm looking at for gold really is this big impulse here to the upside from that low to that high. What I'm looking at is a correction of this move. I don't know where it will end up. It may already be on its way, or it may want to move down another 1 or 2 times. But essentially, I'm looking at the correction of this move to try and find that higher low to buy it back up. And I'm looking to take gold back to the highs up here, 24.40. So that is my mission with gold. That's the trade opportunity I'm after. So yeah, I want to find some entries for that. But at the moment, it's kind of just dancing in the middle of nowhere, really. If I just move this out the way, there we go. We're kind of just dancing in the middle of nowhere. So I'm not really interested about trying to put any buy entries in here. What I want to see happen is another spill to the downside, maybe even take out these lows, test the 50. That would be really, really nice. There's some areas here which price can react to around 23.44, and maybe you can find some nice bullish engulfings here to take it higher. So that's kind of what would be my preferred opportunity on gold. Another kind of spill over to the downside, or at least test the support here. I just don't want to be entering up there. And then I'll find some entries around 23.50 to 23.40. And then yeah, I'll be looking to take price higher after that. Same kind of thing with silver as well, except silver's just a little bit more bullish, so it's a bit more difficult. But I do want to see silver sell off one more time at least as well. And then look to try and take it back up on that next higher low or next lower low. Same thing with gold as well. But yeah, pretty big moves to the downside there, which I know would have definitely taken out a few traders who would have bought around here. Again, there's no love lost. If you take a loss, it happens. We're not all perfect. We'll take losses 100%. But just because you take a loss doesn't mean the opportunity has gone. It just might mean maybe you entered a bit too early, and now potentially you could see another entry to take advantage of another trade, make back your loss, and then some as well. But yeah, for gold, I do want to see another move down first, and then I'll look for my buys. But yeah, I have to keep an eye on it because things can change quickly. We've got CPI on Thursday, so I'm hoping I can get an entry before that. So yeah, in terms of pound yen, looking for a buy on pound yen. I mentioned this one earlier. I'll like a buy as we come back into this low here, 205.831, because we are kind of just moving in this ascending channel with pound yen. But at the moment, everything is still really, really bullish for it. Daily, weekly, monthly, all still seeing really nice momentum to the upside. There are some signs that we're slowing down because we're still seeing quite corrective highs. But in terms of a nice buying opportunity, I would say as we approach this low, because this is our swing low and this is our swing high. So effectively, we're looking for a pullback within this range here. Because if you're looking to buy pound yen, then you do not want to see price break this low here. So if we can see another push back to the downside, back into the low here, spike through it, retest the lower end of this channel, something like that, that would be really the best place for a buy. And then, of course, naturally be expecting price to push back to the high there at 206.668 and maybe some new highs as well. So that's kind of where I would be looking for buys in pound yen. Another push back into this low here. Another test of the trend line, another test of support, smart place for a stop loss, and hopefully we can catch another run to the upside. But yeah, we're still seeing a lot of momentum there, so only looking for buyers intraday really is kind of what I would be after. And another test of that support would make the most sense for pound yen. So yeah, hopefully that made sense there for pound yen. But you would want another pullback. Unless you want to take the trade now, but it just means your stop loss will be a little bit bigger and the risk will be a bit skewed. Okay, so I'll go through pound CAD, USD CAD, but first I'll go through pound NZD and USD for blessing. Malik, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Thinking pound NZD buys. Okay, we'll take a look. Yebsira. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Okay, no problem, William. Have a good one, my man. Take care. Hope to see you tomorrow. 6 to 7% to the Japanese get mad and do something. Yes, we'll take a look at pound CAD as well. Okay, so first we'll go through pound NZD, Euro NZD, then we'll take a look at pound CAD and USD CAD. So yeah, with pound NZD and Euro NZD, looks like we're seeing some bullish momentum, which is literally what I've been looking for. for a while, basically since we broke out of this descending channel. It looks like we're starting to see that. I mean, it's not perfect yet either, really, but at least we're seeing some evidence that we're pushing up and we're breaking through the high here as well, which is fantastic. But there's still a lot more meat to the move. I'm looking for price to come all the way back to the high here, which is 2.12130. That resistance, that high, that swing high, is where I do think price is slowly headed towards. Again, we've gone through it a million times now, but we're still seeing this bullish structure here on the daily chart. Swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. Potentially the new swing low for price to at least go and retest that swing high and maybe even create a new one as well. So now that we have broken out this descending channel, now we are starting to see some bullish structure. The next best setup for me would be now a retest of the high here. Hopefully we can see a bit more momentum on that move, and then I'll be looking for the retest of that one. I was originally looking for the retest of this high here, but the breakout just wasn't sufficient enough. It was quite corrective. Didn't really see much momentum there, and it was almost consolidation really. So I wasn't really looking to take that trade, but now hopefully we can see a bit more momentum on this next break and hopefully find a retest there. As long as we keep up this bullish structure and we don't break structure, then I'll still be looking to buy. So low, high, low, high, low, looking for a new high somewhere, new high, low, and looking to take that back to the high all the way up there. Again, I'll be trading stop loss. I don't think I'll catch that move in one trade, but we'll try. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for pound NZD. I'm liking the higher time frames. Weekly chart looks good as well. Daily chart starting to see some nice bullish candlesticks as well. So things are slowly coming into play. With Euro NZD, again, like I said, this one's a little bit more tricky. It's not looking as clear. I was talking about this area here as a nice buy yesterday. Didn't quite see that happen. Looking for another push for a buy. It looks like price has already seen its correction of this move here. So maybe now we're going to get some follow through back to the high and maybe beyond that. So unless you're already in the buy for your NZD, I would kind of just ignore this one for now. Maybe we go and break the high again, and then the next pullback could look a little bit better afterwards for us. And we tested the high there, and we got a big level here around 1.78500. That could be where prices may be heading towards to go and retest, so maybe that next buy will look good. We just missed that breaking retest of that high, so hopefully we can get the next one and take some buys accordingly. But yeah, if you're not really in the buy for your NZD here, unless we have another move down, which could happen, the move might be already in place. So if we can have one more move down, this could be a nice buy. If not, wait for the next break and retest. But yeah, looking for momentum to sustain to the upside. We've got some nice bullish structure now. Low, high, low, high. We broke structure a while ago, which was the high over here. So now, kind of expecting more of the same. But yeah, pound NZD and Euro NZD, very similar pairs. Both look like they're heading higher. So just looking for opportunities in that direction. Yes, we'll take a look at pound CAD and USD CAD next. Hey, what's up, RJ? Appreciate that. I hope you're well. Okay, good to hear. Was waiting for the retest. Nice. Yeah, so it's just a waiting game whether we get the retest or not. Hopefully we will. Pound NZD normally does get its retesting because it's quite a choppy pair. Goes back and forth quite a lot, so it does normally give us a good retest. It doesn't normally just break out and fly, or at least doesn't do it often. So retest is normally quite likely. Just need to wait for a solid break and look for the pullback. But yeah, there's a long way to go if we're going to get to that target. In terms of pound CAD and USD CAD, pound CAD I do like. It's a pair which has seen a lot of bullish momentum as of late, and it does look like price is slowly making its way back to the high here at 1.75983, which is that daily weekly swing high. And again, if you look at the bigger picture, pound CAD is slowly making its way to the upside. So we do have a bullish trend here. Definitely not the cleanest one. Compare it to the yen pairs, there's definitely a big contrast, but it's definitely a trend at least which makes us favor the buyers over the sells, at least over the long run. There's definitely money to be made going to the downside as well in these conditions, but definitely more to the upside. So I will be expecting more of the same back to the high there. I like how we've seen some really nice momentum recently. Strong push there, consolidation, another strong push there as well, taking out that high there too. So that of course plays into our hands that most likely we're going to see more upside going forward. On my weekly analysis, I did say this would be my preferred area to buy from, and it still is my preferred area to buy from. I'm just wondering, will we see a pullback big enough to get there? I don't know. Maybe we've seen another drop to the downside. It's still pretty far away. Let me look at the hourly chart. Yeah, hourly chart's a solid close. We could actually just head higher from here, but we haven't necessarily hit a big level of interest for me, so it's not a buy I'll take. But if you do come back down one more time, fantastic. This for me looks like a really nice area at 1.74, and we're looking for the next higher low to take price to the upside and hopefully back to the high there. But to me, it looks like price has printed in its next higher low. Low down there, high, higher low. So now I'm looking for a move back to the high. So price action for me is pretty straightforward. Just need to find a good entry, which would be there. But we'll see if we can get there. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe subscribe to the channel, but drop a like on the stream, on the video. It does really help out. And make sure you do hit the bell so you're notified whenever I do go live or I do upload a video, so you don't miss out on anything. But yeah, pound CAD I do like. It's on my watch list. Just hoping we can see a pullback. USD CAD I do like if we can break out, but we're just taking our sweet time at doing that. If we have a look at the daily chart, you can see we've been in this range for a very, very long time. And as long as we stay in that range, I'm not really interested in trading price. We have recently broken through this trend line here, which has been a big sign to me that maybe we are about to see a bigger move to the downside. As long as we were holding that trend line, I was favoring price to continue up, but that's changed. We've broken through that. So now the next big thing I want to see price clear is definitely this level of support, and then that will paint the picture for me. Because once we do that, for me that's a clear sign that the market is likely going to head lower. Then I'll just be looking at pullbacks, maybe a retest of this area, but looking at some shorts all the way back down, maybe to this low, and maybe even to this low as well. Because if I do look at the higher time frames really quickly, you can see we're just seeing big swings back and forth, back and forth. So maybe this is another swing we're going to see back to the low. So there's a lot of room to cover to the downside for USD CAD. But in terms of a good trade, like I said, we've got solid support here. I need that to clear first, and then I'll be looking for entries on some pullbacks. Hopefully a retest of that range. And yeah, that's kind of where I look to place my shorts. But whilst we're trading this range here, I don't really want to be trading that. Really difficult price action. And again, I don't really want to be trading ranges. I'm looking for direction, looking for trend, looking for momentum. And we'll get that once we break out the range. But inside of it, it's difficult to gauge price. So 1.36 is where I'm looking for the break of, and then we can start discussing retest. Essentially what Aussie dollar did, but in the other direction. Aussie dollar was in a equally as horrific range. We were in this for a long time. Finally got the break to the upside. Things look a little bit clearer now. Looking at some pullbacks, higher lows for us to continue high. So just looking at this opportunity here on USD CAD, just in the opposite direction. Eggs are so delicious. How do you make your eggs more? Give a hug to the chicken that made them. How do you make your eggs? You scramble it, boil it. Since everyone eats a lot of eggs on the streams, might as well get some tips. But yeah, for me, my main interest is still very much with gold. So I'm hoping we can have one more move down and then I can find some buys. But I don't know. Gold being gold, it might just push on because silver's looking pretty bullish as well. And that might just push on as well. But we do have CPI on Thursday. So if I don't find a trade before then, I'll wait for CPI to come out. Maybe we see a strong move down after CPI and maybe that could be a nice catalyst for some buys later in the week. Again, that's just me thinking out loud, but we are looking pretty... How's dollar looking? Seen some upside, but nothing crazy. Yeah, Aussie CAD still looks absolutely horrendous. Was looking to trade this one last week on breaking this low, but it just didn't play ball. It broke to the upside, still looking pretty bullish right now. I do think the bigger move is still to the downside for Aussie CAD, but it's been slowly crawling higher. Ooh, fair play. Never thought about that. I never use the lid when I'm frying my eggs. Let them steam as well. Yeah, I do like them to be a bit runny though. But yeah, I never thought about using the lid. That could be a game changer there. I might have to try that out. How's Bitcoin looking? Didn't do too much yesterday. Still a little bit of upside, but to be fair, still just in a really nice area for a buy. Again, I'm not really looking to trade Bitcoin, so it's not a position I'm looking to take. But if I was looking to trade it, then I would be looking at buying it in this area. And same with Ethereum, I would want a bit more downside for that one before the buy. But generally looking like a nice opportunity, especially if you take out these lows here. I'm expecting a relief to the upside. Four slices of bread. You're a greedy boy. 4 slices of bread. That's a lot. I'll have one, one most of the time, maybe 2. It's bulking season. I try. Do you use the lid as well, Sculpey? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do low heat as well, but I don't use the lid. Learned that the hard way. Does anyone have any trades open at the moment? Yeah, I'm still looking for my first position. I mean, yesterday silver and gold looked really likely, but I don't know. Overnight they've changed structure a little bit. I mean, I'm still looking at the same move. It's just, will I get the trade entry? Not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. And yeah, Pez is still fighting higher. I think once they have a slightly bigger pullback, I'll be interested in a buy. but they're just a little bit too bullish for my liking. I think I will start keeping an eye on pound CHF as well for a sell, because as we've seen another move higher, I'm starting to like it, especially if we can spike through the high as well. Euro JPY. Are you in a Euro JPY position, or do you want me to take a look at it? Okay, on the lower time frame. Okay, you need the energy. Okay, 5K run and the gym. Well, that explains it. You put some fuel in the tank. Okay, so with Euro Yen, so how low of a time frame are we talking? Because generally speaking, like 50, 30 minute is pretty much just consolidation to me. So I'm not going to really look too much into the price action in here, because for me, it's just the market taking a bit of a pause right now in its bullish journey. It's been really impressive, impulse correction. So we've seen that pattern numerous times as prices head higher, and now price kind of stalled a little bit, or is stalling a little bit. So the way I'm viewing this is just price is taking a breather, relaxing, before it's probably going to most likely continue its journey. So I do think the next best move would be if price is going to have a nice break of this area. This will then become a really nice area of support to buy from, and even pick up some more longs if we do come back to retest it. So that's kind of how I would look, at Euro Yen. But in terms of low time frames inside of this area, there's not much I can say, because it's just moving sideways. So unless you're going to buy low, which could be a nice buy really on the 30, 50 minute chart, if you come back to around 173.8, that could end up being a nice buy, come into the low, react with it, see a nice, nice relief of that nice rally higher. That could end up being a nice buy, because again, the market is still so bullish. So technically speaking, you want to be buying from support. This is a decent level of support as well. So I'm not against that move. I think that makes sense. But if we can see some momentum come back into the market again, that will be really, really appreciated. And then the buys will become a lot simpler on the retest of that low there, retest of that high. So yeah, going forwards, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about price action here, because we could see price fluctuate randomly for a few more days before it does pick its direction. But if you are going to get involved, I would suggest waiting for price to come a lot lower first, trying to pick some buys as we approach some support. Or, of course, if you can break the high and continue, I think that would make a lot of sense there. But, yeah, Euro Yen still generally bullish. So I would only be expecting more of the same and not trying to overcomplicate things. I appreciate that, RJ. Number one supporter. Four slices, one avocado, 5 eggs. That is a big breakfast. But they do say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so can't argue against it. Okay, no trades at the moment. Look, New York session. Gold throwing off everyone and blowing accounts. Yeah, I can definitely second that. Yeah, I mean, again, the aim of the game is to wait for the iron to be hot and then strike. You don't want to just take a trade to take a trade. And yeah, we could be waiting for that movement New York session before something gets excited. Of course, me and you are working on different time frames, so yeah, so there's going to be difference in our viewpoint. Sometimes if you're looking for a scalp, I'm looking for a swing. But yeah, I know what I'm looking for gold. I know what I'm waiting for. I just need to wait for it and wait for it to happen before I can take the position. So I know I'm looking for the buys. There might be some short-term sell opportunities before that on the lower time frames, which I'm not really interested in. But of course, if you're on the lower time frames, that could be a nice opportunity. But I'll be waiting for the buys, just seeing if we can actually get a nice opportunity there. But yeah, nothing's really happening now. So I feel like New York session is going to be a nice little catalyst, get things moving, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't think I get a trade today anyway on gold. It's probably going to be tomorrow or maybe early Thursday before CPI. Okay, use the Heikin-Ashi chart. Interesting. Well, I've looked at it before, but I've never really used it. Again, if you've got your reason to enter a trade, you've got your confluences, you've got your entry signals, your plan in place, and of course take the trade. Do what you need to do. I'm not here to talk you out of trades. I'm just here to share with you my bias, my experience, and take that information how you want to take it. But yeah, I've never really used the Heikin-Ashi chart before. Always just regular Japanese candlestick patterns. NZD rate cut tomorrow possible? Yes, definitely possible. Is that in the early hours of the morning? Let me just have a quick look at the old economic calendar. Okay. Wednesday. Yes, we do. Bank of New Zealand interest rate decision at 3 a.m. I mean, the expected is the same. Previous 5.5 expected, the consensus 5.5 as well. So it's expected to stay the same, but who knows? Maybe they do cut rates. If it is going to come out the same 5.5, then probably not see too much movement. Maybe see some dollar strength off the back of that. If they cut rates, then we'll see, because it depends how much they do it by as well, depending how big the reaction will be. But it's expected to stay the same. The consensus is 5.5. I'm not really looking to trade any NZD pairs apart from pound NZD, but I still need a lot to happen there. NZD USD not really interested in either. So yeah, I'm not really heavily interested in NZD, but we'll see what happens. I won't be in NZD trade between now and then. So from a personal perspective, I'm just going to wait to see what happens and then just react to price in the morning. But yeah, the consensus is for things to stay the same, at least according to this economic calendar. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, bit of onion. What's up, Rio? Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. A bit of onion, bit of salt on your avocado goes a long way. Never try lemon though. It sounds a little bit decent. You're gonna try and get me a sponsor with Prime. Okay, RJ, mate, I'll back that. If you get Prime as a sponsor, I don't think I'll say no, to be honest. What's up, Lordo? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. It's just cleaner. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it kind of removes some of the noise. To be honest, where is it? So, things are a bit more consistent because you get more bullish candles consecutively, more bearish candles consecutively. So you're not kind of distracted by each individual candle because it's kind of like a blend. So I definitely can get behind that. But yeah, I don't really have much experience with it because I've never really looked to trade it with it. I've always been with the regular Japanese candlesticks, which is over there. But yeah, if it works for you, if it makes sense, go for it. There's no right or wrong way. Just whatever makes you profit. Okay, still long euro. Oh yeah, I remember you said last week CPI possibly holding into the CPI as well. What's your target for that, Eric? What's your target for that trade? Because I'm pretty sure, I think last week for that Euro USD position, I think you said your target was at the high here, I think. It's either we just about tested it or we just about missed it. Or maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly. But yeah, it was a really big move to the upside for Euro. Dollar took a huge dive, and of course Euro USD flew to the upside off the back of that. I think it was this candle here, and then the market's just been pushing up to the upside slowly after that. But I think going forward, Euro is most likely going to push high as well. I'm looking at another high low for it. I'm hoping we can have another pullback first because I want to find some entries as well. But yeah, we might just keep pushing higher. But we've been quite congested here, come back into strong area supply. I do think there's room for retracement. But yeah, I do think there's a good chance we do push all the way back to 1.09, which is the high up there. Certainly if the DXY gets to 104,500, or 104,400, which is this area here, then most likely Euro USD will make that move. Favor, yes, I will take a look at Aodu NZD, no problemo. Full of sugar, don't drink it, just put it on the table. Yeah, I have to fake drink it or something. I've never had a Prime before, and I don't really plan to, but I don't think I can say no to a sponsor from Prime. Rick, what is up? No problem. Better late than never. Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you are doing good as well. I'll have a look at Aussie New Zealand dollar first, and then I'll take a look at oil. Okay, monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour. So yeah, Aussie New Zealand dollar, I haven't really been looking at this one, to be honest. Okay, so we've come back into the high almost. So yeah, since we broke through that first level of resistance, or not really first level, but a pretty big level, which was this area here. Because the way I'm looking at Aussie New Zealand dollar is just level after level, because the market is just ranging back and forth. There's not really a trend at play, or at least a bigger trend at play. You can argue there's some kind of minor trends, back and forth, sure, but generally speaking, the market is just moving sideways. So as we approach these big levels, I'm expecting reactions. I'm expecting the market to see some downside. We did see that happen over here. Nice big move into that level. Market kind of stalled a little bit. Didn't really see much of a movement, but now approaching that second level resistance where I do think we will react. We can see the previous highs here, one over there, second over there. Could be seeing a third as we approach this area here as well. Maybe a big double top could come into play, but generally speaking, this is a nice place for a sell. So if you're looking to trade this one, I would be looking at selling opportunities. At the moment, the market is still quite bullish, but we are moving pretty corrective, to be honest. So it does look like we could probably see some downside, but I think what would be best if we can see some evidence of like a double top forming, or at least a lower high come into play before we can take a trade, at least showing some signs that, okay, we're respecting this level and we might be looking to reverse. At the moment, we could very much break through. So if we can see some signs like this, that would be nice. And then looking to short maybe in the second test. And then expecting some downside. If this can load. There we go. So yeah, expecting some downside. Back to possibly this level. I wouldn't try and stay in the trade for too long based on how it's moving. It's just very, very corrective. But naturally speaking, this is just a great place for a sell. We've already had a humongous reaction previously, so at least we can see some type of reaction from this area. But again, wait for some evidence that we are stalling, that we are struggling at this level, and that we can see some downside afterwards. But if I was looking to trade this one, I would be looking to sell at resistance, buy at support, and just try and catch those reactions because there's no real directional trend to it. I mean, for me, like 97% of the drinks I drink is water. I'd say the other three, I mean, that's probably actually higher than that. It's probably like 99, to be honest. Sometimes I have a tea. Don't really drink fizzy drinks, even at a restaurant. I always go for water as well. But yeah, I'm very big on water. I wasn't like that when I was younger though. I did drink a lot of Coke when I was younger, but I stopped when I was like maybe like 14 or something. 13, 14, 15 maybe. It's winter in South Africa. Like that makes you colder. Yeah, but what's winter in South Africa? Winter in South Africa is probably like 15 degrees. Which for me is still a great day. Anything 15 and above, it's a good day in the UK. I've had to set my bar pretty low. But yeah, winter South Africa is probably at 15 degrees. Maybe 10. That's on a really cold day. That's rookie numbers. Where's oil? There we are. So yeah, with oil, as I was mentioning earlier in the stream, looking for a little bit more downside back into 80.50. Then we can see where we can go from there. I think the bigger picture of oil, we're kind of just consolidating really. We're squeezing, as we can see. So yeah, don't really have a direction at play. I think like the market's getting ready for a big move. Whether it's going to be up or down, I'm not too sure. I would probably favor up because overall there's a slight uptrend to it, but we could easily break down first before we do see that move. So yeah, generally speaking, the market is kind of just sideways right now. The market is kind of sideways. So there's not really too much information to take away from the monthly chart because we are just kind of squeezing weekly. We're kind of seeing the same thing in a bit more detail. Maybe you can highlight some key levels in the market around here, which we're respecting as resistance at the moment, as we can see there. So naturally, it makes sense to see some downside there as well. But generally speaking, we're forming highs over here and forming higher lows down there. So the market is back and forth until we finally pick a direction. Then we can be seeing some really nice momentum and sustained trend. But at the moment, we're not quite seeing that. So expecting to see a bit of downside. 80.50 looks like a nice place for a buy. This was a solid level of resistance. This was our last swing high in the market. Big drop to the downside. We broke through that. Naturally, this is a nice level of support. Whether we will continue and see some new highs, I'm not too sure, but at least catch a nice bounce. I think that makes the most sense for oil. And we can see where we can go from there. In the meantime, though, we're still respecting this area, so I think if we can catch a nice retest there, can probably find some shorts on the way down, maybe some buys later, at a later date. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for oil. Short-term downside and at least the bounce at 80.50, then we go from there. Oh, did you get a new cat more? Didn't break anything? Wait, aren't cats supposed to be agile and careful? I mean, I've never owned a cat before, so what do I know? But I just thought dogs normally break stuff and cats normally just lay around and be at peace. Oh, 15 degrees is very cold for you. 15 degrees, that is a nice day. I mean, it's not a nice day, but it's a good day. As in, I'm not wearing my thick jacket, maybe a light jacket, maybe a jumper. I might even take the jumper off, to be fair, if I get really comfortable. Yeah, 15 degrees is a good day. It's a good day for me in the UK. Anything above 15. But yeah, South Africa, you guys are used to 30 degree, 35 degrees, so yeah. I'm not on that level yet. 38 degrees. Yeah, how are you jealous? I'm jealous of you. I mean, 38 degrees is a little bit too hot for me, I'd say. I think anything above 35 is getting a bit uncomfortable. But I'd rather be 38 than whatever we've got now. Let me check. Okay, so 18 degrees now. Okay, I don't know. 18 degrees is quite decent. Could be warmer, but it's comfortable. Okay, yeah, Joburg 30, 32. Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think 30 degrees is bang on the money. It's warm, but not too warm. I think, yeah, anything above 35, you're pushing it a little bit. "15 degrees too cold." What a life. I mean, winter here, we're looking at 0 degrees, maybe -1, -2 on a bad day, maybe -3. That's not great. Oh, okay. $50 to $45. That is that's insane. Okay, we're seeing a lot of weakness in the dollar right now. Dollar pairs are pushing up. But yeah, 50 to 45, that's insane. That is insane. That is insane. Yeah, that's way too hot. As in, like, I'm not leaving the house too hot. I think the hottest I've ever experienced is it's probably about 40 degrees, and that was draining. 50, that's a whole different ball game. $50 4 weeks ago. Last week was crazy, 45 to 46. Damn. Yeah, that's too hot. I'd rather have my weather than that, I would say. Even though this is UK summer, or supposed to be UK summer. Okay, Cape Town. Okay, Cape Town's cooler than Joburg. I suppose Cape Town's near the coast. But yeah, 10 degrees. That's respectable as well. It's on the colder side, 100%. But it's not too bad. Let's concentrate here. The more you can tell a story about later. Well, for me, I'm just waiting on gold and silver. I'm hoping we can see some retracement and then finally pick up some buys later on. I mean, I'll go through my watch list and I'll share the pairs I'm looking at. But there's nothing which I'm looking to take right now. Some pairs need a bit of retracement before I do take any entries. Excuse me. Okay, so as I said, gold and silver looking for buys, sort of like this. It would depend how we move today and tomorrow, but looking for another move down before I do get buys. Euro USD looking for buys on the retest of this structure here, 1.07, and looking to take some higher lows somewhere. Aussie dollar waiting for the retest of that structure. Hopefully you can get a nice pullback there, retest some structure. Thank you, Fatter, for subscribing. Hopefully you can take some buys in the retest of 0.67. That would be beautiful. USD CAD waiting for the break of that support level, break out of that range, and looking for shorts on the retest of that. Again, need to wait for the breakout for that one. Pound CAD waiting for the retest of this structure. Oh, pound CAD had a bit of a move there. Looks like pound is quite strong this morning. A bit of a push high. I'm not too sure if we'll see this pullback, but that is ideally where I want to position myself long. And then yeah, pound CHF, I'm looking for some sells. A lot of wicks on that daily chart at that resistance level, so I do think we can see some downside, a lot of momentum there. So hopefully I can find some shorts, maybe 1.152. That would be nice. Stop loss above that. So yeah, those are the pairs I'm looking at. Pound NZD as well. Forgot about that one. Pound NZD as well. Oh, pound NZD breaking high. Okay, that is what I want to see. Nice. Okay, so hopefully that can, I don't know, probably not find an entry today, but hopefully that can continue moving for the rest of the day, and then maybe tomorrow or Thursday, maybe some entries on that one on a pullback. But it looks like we are breaking the high, which is progress because I'm expecting a lot more upside for it. So yeah, those are the markets I'm looking to trade. Now I just need to wait for some necessary pullbacks, some breakouts, which again could happen very quickly. Movement happens. We've got some news coming out. CPI will speed things up, shake the market up a little bit as well. So although I'm not necessarily looking to take a trade right now, I could end up taking 2 or 3 trades in a single day if things map out quickly. Okay, no problem, Sculpey. Have a good one, my man. "15 degrees as a heat wave in the UK, schools are shutting down." Okay, Rick. Okay, took a NAS 100 buy. 2100. Okay, partial hold through the news. Good question. Okay, let me have a look at that one. And we'll take a look at US 30 as well, order. But yeah, NAS 100, you said you took a buy from... Oh, that one is still flying. Wow. NAS and S&P. Those boys are not messing around at all. Just new high after new high. Anyway, you said you took a buy from 2100. Let me mark that on the chart. That's around here-ish. And then you're asking, should I partial out or hold through the news? Well, first of all, really nice trade there. Price is really flying there. I think definitely partial. Definitely partial. Again, partial doesn't have to be such a big partial. If you've got 100% of your position you're holding right now, taking 25% is not going to do too much harm. Sure, it does reduce the position you'll be holding, but securing 25%, paying yourself that way, whatever happens, worst case scenario happens, you still walk away with some profit. Is always nice to have that banked in. But because NAS is at all-time highs, we've never been at these prices before. Not necessarily that we've got structure which we're heading towards, or the market just broke through a big level, or we have done, but a while ago. So this is uncharted territory. So the best thing to do if I'm holding a trade that is coming to fresh highs, which we haven't been for a long time, or in this case, never been before, it's always best just to secure profit, because at the same time, you don't know how far price can go. You don't know how far price will go before it does pull back against you as well. And something like CPI is a great catalyst for the market to reverse against you, especially when the market's quite stretched. So CPI will be a great excuse for the market to suddenly see a humongous candle pushing right back down all the way to your entry price. That's sometimes what the market does when we are quite overextended or at fresh highs or all-time highs. Sometimes the news comes out and it helps the price retrace itself. Of course, sometimes it will do the opposite and give price another big boost. But again, we're traders and we're not predictors here. So we've got to protect that trade to a degree. Still, I think, follow the plan. If you just want to trail stops and see how far you can take it, do that, because like I said, we could break high and we could still see another humongous move higher. So you don't want to stop yourself from taking advantage of that opportunity. But at the same time, especially with CPI as well, and CPI has not messed around as of late in terms of the big moves and the speed of it. We've seen some really big moves very, very quickly from CPI. So I would definitely protect myself. So yeah, partial out. It doesn't have to be anything big. 10%, 20%, 25%, something like that. It's a healthy size to take. Therefore, you're still holding a decent chunk on, and you're still paying yourself a little bit as well. So I would recommend that. But of course, it's up to you to make that decision. Okay, we'll take a look at US 30 as well. Geez, cities near Egypt. Whenever I think of Egypt, I just think pyramids and desert. Just the thought's making me hot. Okay, so yeah, US 30 has been, what is this price action? Horrendous stuff. We had a bit of momentum yesterday, but it kind of collapsed on itself and came right back down. Again, I'm looking for US 30 to kind of continue the momentum like NAS is doing, like S&P is doing, but we're just not quite seeing that with US 30. I do think we are slowly making our way back to the high here, and we have been doing that for a while, but it's just there hasn't been really a good opportunity to trade it. I think now, if we do come back to support down here, I feel like that's a nice buy there. Say we have a sell-off in the afternoon and maybe some buys tomorrow morning look good. This could be a nice healthy place for a buy around 39k. I think we probably have some nice trend line confluence there as well to a degree as we're slowly pushing up. So I like that buy there. And also, as I said yesterday, I like the buy here if we can break resistance, see a nice impulse above it, retrace, retest, and be on our way. I feel like that is a nice opportunity there as well. So in general, I'll be looking at US 30 just pushing higher. I'll be looking at US 30 pushing high, and these are the two ways I look to tackle it. Trading inside here is just really difficult because the market's just all over the place. Not really much consistency with it apart from it fluctuating. So it's difficult to get a good entry there. And secondly, difficult to get a good stop loss placement as well without being just wicked out on a random wick, and then seeing price moving in your desired direction. So I'll definitely wait for a bigger pullback this way. If we do come to the lows here, there's a sensible place for a stop loss. Even here, sensible place for a stop loss. Not that you're immune to getting stocked out. You can't really fight against that. if you have electronic stop loss, that always will be a possibility, but at least you can minimize that by putting it under safer areas. And these levels make sense. So that's kind of how I look at it myself. But I'm still looking at a big move higher for US30 back to the high, and then we go from there. But it's just funny because S&P's been so bullish, Nas has been so bullish, and US30's kind of lagged behind big time. So I do expect us to at least get back to that swing high sooner or later. US 100 is really 100 today. That is very, very true. Okay, where was we? Yeah, no problem. Happy to help, Rick. Afternoon, Matt. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Euro Aussie. No, I haven't looked at Euro Aussie yet. I will take a look. But yes, I'll take a look at pound USD. No problem at all. That happy to help. If I have missed out a pair you mentioned earlier, feel free to drop it down in the chat. Sometimes I do forget. So feel free to let me know. But I'll move on to Euro Aussie. I don't think I'll look to that market at all. I'm not really interested too much in Euro Aussie personally. It's not a market I'm looking at much right now either. I am still seeing a bit more downside because there's some big levels over here. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Big levels of support and resistance around here, which I do think slowly the market is heading towards. 1.6 big psychological level. I feel like Euro Aussie is moving towards that before we might see another big reaction, because we are still very, very corrective. You can see the way the market's falling over. It's not like we're seeing crazy bearish momentum on the way down. This is a very, very corrective move. So this tells me that most likely Euro Aussie is going to find its feet somewhere, and we're going to see a move higher. So that's what I'm seeing from Euro Aussie. And to me, this is a nice place where it would make sense for that move to happen. So at the moment, Euro Aussie is kind of just consolidating just above that area. We've got some equal highs above us there, more or less equal lows below us. And price has been fluctuating for about a couple of weeks now inside this area. So what I'm looking at for this one is another move lower to go and test 1.6. And then maybe if we can see some signs of reversal, then there could be some nice buys longer term. If you're looking for sells, I think naturally just looking for another sell up the high makes the most sense. Say we get a big rally to the upside over the course of the week, I feel like another short at that area makes the most sense because the market is still quite bearish. We've been falling to the downside for quite a while. Last week I was talking about the retest of this low. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen, so I feel like this is the next best area. So I feel like this is a nice place for a short. Take advantage of that move, and then maybe later in the week or next week, then we can discuss some buys around 1.6 for a big move higher. Something similar to what USD did, because USD came back into some nice support. It's a very similar pair to Euro Aussie as well, and we had a really nice reaction and price pushed up, and this was a pretty corrective move there as well. So I'm expecting Euro Aussie to do something similar to what USD is doing. It just hasn't done it yet, and 1.6 is a great place for that to happen. And also, this was the swing low, which gave us this swing high. So technically speaking, this could just be a massive correction of that move. And I wouldn't really be surprised if that's the case. Big kind of bull flag. If that drawing made sense. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro Aussie dollar. In terms of pound USD, we'll take a look at gold as well. In terms of pound USD, was trading at a massive level of resistance right now, and I'm waiting for price to break through it. Because again, I'm not really looking to trade pound USD inside this range, so I'm not really interested in here unless things look really good. But at the moment they're not. So what I'm waiting for pound USD is a strong break of this level, and then I'm looking for pullbacks, retests, and buying opportunities all the way back up to 1.31. I'm not looking to do that in a single trade, but I'll be looking at pullbacks in that direction, essentially back to the high. Because yeah, price for pound USD has been in this range for since the year pretty much started, since 2024 kicked off. We've been in this range, bar a couple fake outs, one over here, second one over here as well. So bar a couple fake outs, we've just been in this range. So I do think there'll be a big move this year for pound USD in the latter 6 months. Whether it'll be to the upside like that or we break to the downside and do like this, I'm not too sure, but we'll just wait in the breakout and go from there. So hopefully we can see the breakout in the next few days. Then I'm just going to be looking at buys all the way up to the swing high there. In the meantime, we're trading at some resistance, so I can understand people looking to sell here. That makes a lot of sense. And you might see a move back down to this area or even this area, depending how big the move is. But I'm just not really interested in that. I want momentum. I want to trade with momentum. Not really seeing that really with pound. I know this is a nice move, but it's just coming back into resistance. So hopefully we can see a breakout, and then I'll discuss some longs shortly afterwards. But that's kind of where I'm at with pound USD for now. But yeah, in terms of dollar, I'm looking at some dollar strength and dollar weakness. I'm looking for a retracement, retest some support and resistance there, and then hopefully we can use that to our advantage and see a lot more downside. That is the plan there for the dollar. In terms of gold, I'm looking at buys. This is still a pair which I really like. A little bit of a erratic move yesterday, but for me it's still shaping up to be a nice buy. So what I want to see with gold is one more move to the downside, back into the lows here, and then I'll look to position myself long. There's a nice level of support here. We've seen a lot of wicks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for another one, maybe piercing the lows a little bit as well. We'll see how things set up, but generally speaking, looking to get long around the 23.50, 23.40 area, and then I'm looking to take gold back to the high, and longer term gold back to the high over there, because that's where I do think gold is slowly working its way towards. We've got a nice high low over here, high low over there, high low over there. You can see they're slightly higher. Each one is slightly higher. I'm looking at another one. Maybe it forms over here. Maybe we have a slightly deeper move to this area and it forms a little bit deeper down here. But generally speaking, I'm looking at us slowly curving to the upside like this and pushing up back to the high. So gold to me, I really like. High time frames are really bullish. Daily, weekly, monthly. Of course, we've seen big breakouts for gold and silver as well. So for me, on the high time frames, the picture is very bullish. So I do think eventually we're just going to head back to the high there. Now it's my job just to find that next higher low, find a good entry, and try and take advantage of that. And my two areas of interest is this range here. If we have a bigger pullback, so 23.40, or this area here, 23.50, if we're just going to have one more spike. But yeah, that's the plan I have for gold. Just need to stay patient and wait for the opportunity. Copper. Oh, copper. I haven't looked at that one in a while. What's up, everyone in Israel? Better late than never. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I haven't looked at copper in a minute. Devon, good morning. Hope you're well. Just about good morning here in the UK still. UCC Chef we'll take a look at as well. What's copper again? Forget copper. Let me type it out. Does it come out there? I assume this is copper. Well, it's got some analysis. So when's the last time I looked at it? April 2024. I looked at copper in April. I cannot remember that. But it appears so I did. Okay, we'll look here. I thought the last time I looked at copper would have been last year, but apparently not. Anyway, so the last time we had a look at copper, okay, yeah, I do remember people were asking for different metals, and copper came up, I remember. So yeah, we had some nice bullish momentum there, really healthy trend, and we've seen that kind of continue really nicely all the way back to the high. Didn't really see the retest that I was looking at, talking about the retest of this high or that high. Didn't really see that happen, but there was a lot of momentum there. Let me see the bigger picture again with copper. Okay, so it's still a very bullish market, but we're testing some big highs there. But yeah, it's still looking pretty bullish to me on the monthly, weekly. Weekly, we kind of come back to retest that area. But I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of push up and have a bigger pullback. Something like this. Maybe retesting this area there. I wouldn't be surprised at that. And then look at the daily chart. Daily chart's coming into a nice area for a sell, really, back into this area. I'm not too sure if we'll have a huge sell-off, but the buys have already taken place. If you're in a buy, fantastic. If you're not in a buy, this is more of a place for a sell. As you can see, a lot of momentum down the left. So I would say if we can see another spike to the upside, that could then be a nice place for a sell. Stop loss above the high there. Looking for entries in this area. And then targets back at this low. And that could then be a really nice place for a buy, depending how you react with it. So yeah, keep an eye on 4.53 is a nice place for a buy, but if you're looking for the sell, bit counter trend, but still a nice area for a sell. I think that makes a lot of sense there, 665. So yeah, that's kind of where I would be looking at for copper. Some short-term sells, maybe some long-term buys here. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. We'll take a quick look at USD CHF and USD CAD and wrap things up there. Glenn, hope you're doing good as well. We'll take a look at USD CAD. So yeah, with USD CHF, yeah, for me, USD CHF is kind of an awkward place because we've had some nice swings on the 4-hour/daily chart. One over there, second over there, and potentially a third now. So if you're looking to short this one, technically you should already be short. You should already be in the trade up at the high here. Trying to enter the market now for a short, it's always going to be a bit more difficult. So yeah, if it was me trading this, I would just move into another market because I've kind of missed the opportunity. Unless maybe you come up for a double top and we come back to the same area, then things get a little bit interesting again. But as I mentioned yesterday, the next best area would kind of be a retest of this level of support here, which, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of. But if you're really looking to trade USD/CHF, then that's kind of what I'd be looking at, because at this point in time, I do think the market has printed its next lower high. So the next place I'm expecting $CHF to end up at is this low. So that will be the direction I'm looking to trade in. But yeah, if I was looking to trade it myself, I'd wait for a pushback to the high. But I'm not too sure if that will happen. We might just see retest and continuation. So this might be your next best area. Nice wick to the downside, nice wick to the upside. 0.9 big psychological level. It's a decent place for a sell. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for $CHF, but my targets are back at the low. In terms of USD CAD, I'm looking for a similar move. I'm looking for downside as well. I do think that we'll see a lot more dollar weakness in the days to come. Maybe some dollar strength in the first place for a pullback, but I think the longer move is favoring dollar weakness. I'm looking for a big breakout of this range, break the support. We've already broken through the trend line a while ago. So now I'm looking for the break of the support level, break out the range, looking for some pullback, some shorts, and eventually maybe a move back to the low here. Of course, we'll discuss that later because it's still very far away, but the next trade idea I'm looking at is a break of support, some pullbacks, a retest of structure, and then some downside. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for USD CAD. It'll take its time, of course, because we still need to see the breakout. Still need to see the breakout, but that is definitely the idea I'll be favoring. So hopefully we can get some opportunities on a pullback. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with those markets. But anyway, guys, we are coming up to the end of the stream. I do hope you've all found it useful, informative, educational, entertaining, learned something new. If that's the case, please be sure to show some love and leave a like on the stream. It really does help out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, so you do see more of the content, and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I do go live or do upload. So yeah, don't miss out on any uploads as well. Thank you to everyone for coming on. Thank you to my moderators as well for helping out. Really do appreciate you guys helping out. And of course, thank you to everyone else as well for chatting with me. Of course, I will be live again tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. Every day this week, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you're free, make sure you're there. Be there or be square. Check out the Telegram channel. I do post my updates there. If I do take a trade, you'll find out there as well. Make sure you do head over to Elevating Traders as well. We've got the landing page up. Feel free to put your email. I hope I haven't blinded people there, by the way. Make sure you put your email in our waiting list for updates when we do a launch and special offers and discounts as well. So just head over to elevatingtraders.com. You get to the landing page and you get some information there. So do not miss that out as well. But stay tuned, there'll be a lot more updates this week, so keep an eye out for that as well. But guys, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic day of trading. Don't really have too many big news events today, so apart from maybe NZD in the early hours of tomorrow morning. So nothing too crazy, but if I do get any updates, I'll let you know on the Telegram. But guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.